Okay, guys, this one comes to us from foxnews.com. Out of Oklahoma, we have another one where a former police officer has been sentenced, convicted. We'll see how long he does, right? But a former Oklahoma police officer convicted of killing his daughter's boyfriend after 5 trials was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison.
A former Tulsa police officer gets 25 years in federal prison for shooting and killing his daughter's boyfriend while off duty in 2014. Now, this case made its way to federal court following the Supreme Court's McGirt decision. Kepler argued the state lacked authority to prosecute him because the shooting happened on tribal land. Kepler faced trial 5 times for the shooting. The first 3 ended in mistrials. The 4th ended with the jury recommending 15 years.
Shannon Kepler, a 24-year veteran of the Tulsa Police Department, did I do an editorial on him? Sounds familiar. Was also ordered to cover the cost of the gravestone for Jeremy Lake and will be on 3 years of supervised release after serving his sentence. Lake was dating Kepler's daughter, Lisa, at the time of the 2014 killing. So even after 25 years, he's still going to have to do 3 years of probation. Darn them. How they piled it on. Now, U.S. Attorney Clint Johnson said in a Friday statement, Kepler at the time was sworn to uphold the law, but instead made a series of decisions that led to the young man's murder. Today's 25-year sentence provides a measure of justice to the Lake family. Now, Lisa Kepler met Lake at a homeless shelter where she resided and where he volunteered. Her parents had kicked her out of the house and put her in the shelter when she was caught sneaking out of the home. I guess they were like, oh, you want to sneak out? Here, now you're out. You're homeless. After seeing that his daughter had changed her relationship status on Facebook from single to in a relationship, Kepler was alarmed by what he saw on Lake's Facebook page, federal prosecutor said. Now, he kicks her out of the house, but then follows her on Facebook to make sure what's she going to do. Now she's in a relationship. He's like, I'm alarmed. Why is she in a relationship? She's homeless. What? He ran records check on Lake and learned that he was previously charged as juvenile for pushing a social services worker. So teenagers do, they get upset. One night, Kepler changed his clothes, waited until dark, and drove to where Lake was staying, where he saw him and his daughter walking together. After being rebuffed by her, he allegedly shot Lake twice and fired 3 more times in the direction of witnesses and his daughter. She sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Kepler fled and later turned himself in to the police. And during his trial, he testified that he fired in self-defense because he thought Lake had pointed a handgun at him. No gun was found at the scene. They always say that. Oh, I thought he had a gun. He pointing something. Oh, it was a camera? Oh, it was a cop watcher. Oh, no. I'm just throwing that out there because they always say that. Like they put their flashlight in your face. What are you doing? Well, I don't know what you're doing over there. Well, I have a camera. I can't tell what that is. I've heard that before. I can't tell what that is in your hand. Big Apple symbol on the back. There was also a racial undercurrent to the trials. Kepler killed Lake, who was black, days before a white police officer killed Michael Brown, a black 18-year-old, in Ferguson, Missouri, sparking protests and fanning the national debate over the treatment of black people by law enforcement. Kepler's white, by the way. The trial was Kepler's 5th, but is only one on federal charges. His first 3 murder trials in a state court ended with hung juries. The 4th trial ended with a manslaughter conviction and a 15-year prison term. But the Oklahoma Court of Appeals overturned that conviction based on a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that found that Oklahoma lacks jurisdiction for crimes that happen on tribal reservations in which the defendants or the victims are tribal citizens. Wow. So if you were to kill somebody in Oklahoma on a tribal reservation and you kill a tribal citizen and you go get off the reservation and get caught downtown Oklahoma City, maybe, there's no jurisdiction to try you. That's wow. Kepler is a citizen of the Muskogee Nation, and the shooting occurred on land within the tribe's historic reservation. So he's the tribal citizen. So, and since it happened on the tribe's historic reservation, the tribal council would have had to try him, not the off-reservation courts. That's okay. The federal court got him. 25-year conviction, and he's going away. And then he has to do 3 years probation. Don't that suck? 3 years of probation after doing 25 years. But there's another one where, you know, we got a police officer that just didn't escape. He almost did. Notice how Oklahoma tried to get him. The first one, hung jury. The next one, well, no, he's on a tribal reservation. You know, I mean, 4 trials, Oklahoma couldn't convict this former cop. But a federal court said, he's going away. Maybe all cops that are found to commit some form of homicide should just go to federal court.